Well, everybody, I'm sure I don't even need to say this guy's name, but I'm going to say it anyways for all the new people. His name is Bix Weir. RoadToRuta.com. He also has a YouTube channel, as you know. Just look him up as well, not in, but as Bix Weir. You will find him. A lot of times you'll probably see him just searching my name, the stuff on the side, because a lot of times we talk about the same kind of stuff. We're into the same stuff.
We're
Woo
brothers from
woo,
another mother.
yeah, woo woo, Cliff High, Webbot, crypto. So you search for one thing,
Our
boom.
our paths have verged, Joe.
We were actually thinking of live streaming this, but they were like, well, it's 4 o'clock my time. He's got some things to do too. And I'm like, yeah, we'll just
Yeah.
bust this out real quick. And
And all those working stiffs out there who have to go to work every day, whereas you, on the other hand, although
yeah,
you're working from
I'm
home,
down to 3 days. But
yeah,
although I do work my fourth and fifth day. I've just got to stay in my home office, if you will, also known as the crypto cave.
it's
Working on
it's.
some
I mean,
things.
that's why we're into all this. We want to be free to do what we want to do to fulfill our life's purpose.
Right. You want to
And
go to Acapulco and do, an Acapulco thing? You want to do
there it
that?
is.
You do
There's
it.
that's an Anarchapulco hat.
You said you had quite a few people coming up to you, right? Like
Oh, it was
asking or
ridiculous.
meeting
It
you.
was, it, and I want to talk about this in the Three Amigos chat, but it was ridiculous. Everybody, it's strange because I've only been on YouTube for a little over a year now, but YouTube touches so many people. And walking down the hallways, everybody's patting me on the back. Biggs, how are you? Hey, where's Joe and Cliff? You gotta get them down here. I mean, literally, my wife
Listen,
was just
I,
stunned.
I was about that close to just to showing up, and I was just like, I just had a couple of things going on, and I was like, nope, not yet. Like I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to the next Bitcoin, conference or something, crypto conference. And I was like, well, all right, maybe next time. And
Well, yeah, I
I,
told everybody, yeah, I'm sure Joe will be here next time. Cliff, I don't know. We're gonna have to pry him out of the woods.
yeah,
He's always grumpy when he has to leave the woods, so you never know.
so
Can you
true.
imagine Cliff on the beach there, getting a suntan?
Yeah, yeah, really. He was just like the other day on his little tweet, like, or maybe it was our email, I forget, where he was saying something like, I got to go do some kind of surf fishing or something.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like, well, he's right on the coast. I guess that's what he wants to do. Go
right
for it.
there.
But
Exactly.
some of you guys may have heard Bix just say a minute ago about the three amigos. So FYI, in case you've missed it,
Breaking news.
breaking news: next Friday, the 9th of March, we are all going to do the three amigos. And again, I love it. I'm staying home Thursdays and Fridays for stuff just like this. We don't have to wait till late at night, that kind of thing. Just their schedule, my schedule. Hey, what time do you guys want to do it? Done. Works out so good. But yeah, I don't know if you're as excited as I am about that. I can't wait to see what's in that thing. Last one we got was
Oh,
December, and it's going to be released on the 8th. I think you said, right, roughly.
yeah, yeah. He's coming out with the report on the 8th, and then we're gonna have the call on the 9th. And yeah, I sent out a little, hey, anybody got any questions for Cliff? And of course, thousands of questions come in. I'm like, holy moly, I can't. I'm trying to
Well,
consolidate some of them, but yeah, truthfully, it's kind of we don't prepare beforehand really about what we're going to talk about. It just free flows, and
oh yeah,
there are a couple things I would love to talk about. And speaking of which, this is why I called you to try to get this call going. I absolutely loved your last couple of interviews on the woo woo side
oh
with
yeah.
the psychic and the remote viewing. I've been, I'm knee deep in that. I've been knee deep in that for years, because it's so interesting how, what is it that makes psychics, what gives them that power, the ability to know things in the future? Is our future already set? Do we have free will? Is it a framework that we're working within to see how we deal with things? And I have not come up with an answer, but your two interviews were so cool. I want to chat about those, and that's why we're here today to chat about the woo woo.
Yeah, and also breaking news. You may have missed, some of y'all. Bix Weir has allowed comments on his channel, right? Is going forward,
Yes,
or is it just a
um,
one-off?
dude. No, it's wide open for the anger and the fun and the frolic.
The
I
trolls and
am
everything.
allowing all trolls are more than welcome to come to the Road to Ruta YouTube channel. Everybody's happy about it, and truthfully, I'm fine. I won't be in there much. Every once in a while, I'll get in there and
Yeah,
you'll fight the same fights. And a lot of the trolls, they're not trolls. They're the Bitcoin core guys. They're so angry that I even give the time of day to Bitcoin Cash.
yeah. And then let me stop right there. I'm kind of a Bitcoin core guy, but the psychic lady said, and she said this to Pete before I even got a hold of her. Bitcoin Cash, I think it's going to be taking over Bitcoin. I can see it like taking over what Bitcoin is. It's supposed to be what Bitcoin claimed to be in the beginning, and it looks like Bitcoin Cash is going to be that thing. So she says, number one, Bitcoin, the powers that be, whoever, they've got their, greasy, grimy fingers already in it. She feels like Bitcoin Cash, that's not the case. So get in now. It's still cheap too.
Yeah. The amazing thing about this is Michelle White Dove, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The amazing thing about her and what she's doing with the cryptos, to me, was not necessarily the coins that she put on her blog, which everybody should go to the what's the blog? It's Michelle White Dove blog.
I think it's just michellewhitedove.com actually.
Yeah, and then she has a blog.
There's a blog link after that you can click.
So she went through, and I printed it out. She went through the some of the cryptos. This was her crypto thing, and she was being told by her spirit, whatever she calls them, their
guide or whatever,
guides, back in 2006, that there would be a new type of currency.
And she's actually talked about it. So a lot of times she'll say, "Hey, I said this," and then you go back, "Oh yeah, there's the date and timestamp where she actually talked about it."
Absolutely. And it's interesting because Cliff High had in his data that there would be a new type of currency that wasn't involved with the banksters or governments. Yeah. And that was in his data long before Bitcoin was ever released. So, there's a lot of synchronicities there. But with Michelle, when she talked about Bitcoin, when she talked about all the coins that she mentioned, it's amazing, guys. We've been doing this for years, Joe, and we've been studying it. We come to our certain conclusions about these coins. And I was reading through her, I think she listed about 10 picks, and about 8 of them I had done full analysis on, and what she said about them was almost exactly what I had been. It took me 5 years to kind of analyze and figure out, especially about Bitcoin Cash being a truer representation of what Bitcoin really was. Bitcoin was a peer-to-peer cash system. And that's why I keep telling these people, the Bitcoin Core guys, I'm like, Bitcoin Core, BTC is really the split off from Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash is much closer to what Satoshi had in mind, and that's fine. There's 2 separate coins now. People still want to fight about it, but the fight is over. And, who will win the battle? I think both of them will do just fine. But as a means of exchange, obviously Bitcoin Cash will be better. And I do not see the Lightning Network even taking place because it's too risky for the Bitcoin Core guys. And they're even saying, one of the main programmers, Peter Todd, is saying, this thing, we cannot implement this into Bitcoin. It will weaken the system, and it has to be like gold.
Yep.
And nowhere in the Satoshi white paper does it say it has to be like gold. And these are the questions I got down in Acapulco when I was up there on a panel. They're like, well, Bix, why do you support Bitcoin Cash? I said, well, Bitcoin Cash is only temporarily named Bitcoin Cash. I think it's the real Bitcoin, and for the reasons I just announced. But and that's what Michelle is saying. And I've been studying this stuff for 5, 6, 7 years. And she comes out with great picks. But the coolest thing, and I know you think this is the coolest thing too, is this Theta token.
Well, how about the whole thing with Dick Allgaier talking about like these 3 levels of remote viewing, and you get to this, and I got to paraphrase a little bit because I didn't record the conversation after I already stopped and had a private chat with him after, but he said to me something like, the first part is like your conscious mind, the second part is like kind of like a dream state, like daydreaming, and then the third part is when you get to Theta. And I said, hold on a second. What did you just say?
Did he say that?
Theta? He goes, yeah, that's a little term we use. I said, no. You didn't just say that. Theta, Theta. He's like, yeah. I said, hold on a second. I go and Google the image, which we can do right now.
It's the 0 with the line through it, huh?
Which I'll show you.
It's a Greek letter, right?
Yeah, it's like this. There's one of them. And you have, there's only one that I saw that had one little weird 9 to this one here. And I think I pulled this one up, but between this and this is kind of what he drew. These two, like kind of like this is what he drew on a piece of paper, and he already drew it. Like I don't think before I even talked to him.
I don't think it was that. I think it was because he said it looked like a DNA strand, right?
No, that was a whole different coin.
Okay.
We're talking 2 separate things now, actually, because what I'm talking about now, nobody heard.
Okay,
I didn't record this, so this was just Theta. So I'm like, hold on a second. Let me pull up the symbol. He's like, hold on. And he tells me, you hold on a second. Watch this. He grabs a piece of paper out, like from behind his computer. He goes, check this out. And it's a very similar symbol to the Theta symbol.
This is amazing stuff.
What are the chances?
The chances, well, you can calculate the chances on how many cryptocurrencies are there. There's thousands of, maybe 2,000 cryptocurrencies out there right now. Most of them are unknown, have get started and nothing happens to them.
And remember, I never told him anything about Theta until we stopped the recording and we're just chatting. And I think that might have been what brought it up, because he said that and I was like, what did you just say? Like, what was that name? Theta.
Yeah.
The coin I was going to tell you about is called Theta. The psychic's coming on my show tomorrow. It's her top pick. And he's like, really? So he's, he wants some too, but I was like, I got you covered.
It's an amazing thing because, I mean, if you think about Michelle White Dove and what she did, she pretty much picked the top, our top picks with Cliff and all that. Most of them are our top picks. And then there's this one random coin that she picked that I hadn't heard of, you hadn't heard of, a lot of people hadn't heard of, the Theta token. And then we look into it and it's like, oh my God, this is a really substantial company that could do amazing things in the future. But out of the 2,000 coins, she picked that one right. That that's not.
And you
random.
Didn't see it, right? You weren't following it. I wasn't following it. I didn't hear about this thing. I'm like, man, these two guys, one's from Twitch, one's from the co-founder of YouTube. These are like big advisors for them, top advisors. Where did this come from? Like, how did I miss this one? Like, it sounds great.
You do the math, and she's like, "Oh, this coin will be valued in the thousands." And you're like, "Wait a minute. There's 1 billion coins out there. Times 1,000 is $1 trillion company."
Well, in theory, though, it was circulating supply was about 500 million. In all fairness, but
right. But there's the total amount, supply, right? But you think, okay, right now we're thinking that's ridiculous, $1 trillion company that we ever heard of.
What about 3 years? Yeah.
Well, Google, listen, like Google right now is 900 and something million, right? And Google owns a bunch of things, including YouTube. But it's really different. The cryptos, we talk about market cap, which makes everybody think these are stocks. These aren't stocks. These aren't ownership in a company. These are tokens used as money within an ecosystem. So, how many dollars flow in and out, and euros and pounds flow in and out of Google? That isn't accounted for in their market cap. The market cap is just the amount of shares outstanding times the value of the shares. And same with when we talk about market cap with cryptos. But cryptos are so much different. They're not ownership in a company. They're the money. They're the money used within that system. They're the tokens that are used. So it kind of encapsulates all the stocks and bonds and everything associated, and the cash that goes back and forth associated with Google. Because the only thing related to Theta would be Theta tokens used in the Theta system. So it's hard to get your mind around a market cap of $1 trillion but it doesn't represent the value of the company or cash flow earnings. Like a regular company would say, well, they got these cash flows. It's different.
And what if this Theta thing, and it's just me talking to everybody, it's not psychic stuff, it's just me, but what if Theta is the new and improved YouTube type of platform? But if you read it and look at what it's about, it seems like it's more than just a video website. It looks like it's going to be content streaming of all proportions, whether that could be audio, video, and other people using it as a third party, like third party.
And look at all the bandwidth suppliers. All the bandwidth suppliers that would link in all that. You could say Theta is YouTube. It's all the bandwidth suppliers. It's all the program issuers. It's all that stuff can be theoretically combined into one token, and that token is used as money within that system. So,
and technically, you might say this. Between all of us, it could be used as money outside that system. Hey, I've got some Theta tokens. You want to barter for something? Or you want to trade for something? Yeah, I'll take some Litecoin or whatever. It's just kind of like we do now, where you trade one for the other. Or, someone comes over, hey, you're selling the RV. Yeah, what would you like? You got some Theta tokens? Yes, let's do it in Theta. Or, just like I do Litecoin or something.
Absolutely. And Michelle was talking about that as far as barter. Mm-hmm. She was, in her blog, she talked a lot about how we're going off the system where governments issue money. We're going on to more of a barter type system. And gold and silver will be involved, but also think about things you can barter. We can barter with Theta tokens.
Yep. And again, someone might say, well, why barter with those as opposed to some other, token?
And you can do that as well.
If it's like premier platform and everyone knows about this thing, it just might become it. Just might be that one people like to trade a lot. There's no telling. It's this is cryptos. It's the future we're talking about that we can't quite see yet. But I found it funny too how she was saying you know, when she had that real bad car wreck, if she had not switched places with her cousin, she would have probably been the one that really died. But she
Oh
was
yeah.
severely injured, and you know, she's like, I was 18 and I saw, you know, basically I was in heaven and I'm ready to stay over there. And they're like, no, you got more work to do. And she says, you know, they showed me like forward, reverse. Here's your 18 years up to now, and then here's what you have to do. So she's like, I actually saw myself way out to the future doing what I do now. Like my job, I've got a job to do. So she's like, I actually got to see that fast forward. So I was like, that's just gotta be interesting as heck to see that. So I mean, shoot, I'm gonna see her tomorrow. You know, so I don't know that I'm gonna get a reading from her. You know, I might have to ask, but. Is there anything you might want me to ask her? Someone was telling me ask her about Cliff's or ask her about Bix's Grand Canyon thing, the gold. Like maybe she can touch on that.
Yeah,
You want me to ask her something like that, or
yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely say, hey, you know, my buddy Bix has this theory of there's this gold in the Grand Canyon that's hidden there and has been hidden there for, you know, over 100 years. Is there anything that your spirits are telling you about that? I think that'd be cool. I mean, I after I saw your discussion with her, I looked up a lot of her videos, and I'm like, damn, she's good. She's definitely good.
She's been around a while. I mean, she's been around for quite a while.
When she went through that haunted house, that like real.
Oh, you watched that too?
Oh my god,
Jamaican one.
I'm sitting in my study, and the lights are out it was nighttime, and I'm watching this, and my wife snuck in behind me and said, "Boo!" Oh my god, my heart just jumped out of my chest. It was hysterical. She's laughing.
Yeah, that was cool. And the guy was like, "Yeah, that's right. Yep, that happened here." And she just feels it all and talking. She's like, "I don't even like this. I got to get out of here. I don't like this room at all. Like, let's get out of here. I feel way better down here." You know, apparently she can do all that stuff. You know, whether you had a deceased loved one you want to talk to, she can channel it. She can. I mean, it's just weird how all this just came to me all of a sudden. This guy Pete was really pushing for this to happen too. Like after it started getting going, he's like, "No, man, you got to go see her. Go see her." I'm like, "Well, I don't want to say, hey, can I come over like to help you?" No. You know, I don't want to do that. I'll help her remotely through LogMeIn or, you know, or a team viewer or something. And he's like, no, dude, you need to see this girl. So next thing I know, you know, he's talking to them and they're like, yeah, we'd love for him to come over, but we didn't want to ask him to. And I'm over here saying, I'd love to come over, but I don't want to press to come over, you know? So he's like, we got it. Come over this weekend.
It was time. It was time. I mean, so much of this stuff I think is going to come out with the crashing of the old system and the beginning of something new. And that was the other thing that I looked into after when you were talking to Dick Algeier about the remote viewing stuff. I had done some remote viewing 10 years ago. As a matter of fact, I bought this course right here from the guy who trained Dick Algeier, Major Ed Dames. He was the guy who ran the program for the government.
Actually, a different guy trained him first in Hawaii, but he said he has done some stuff with Ed.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Well, they were involved in some way.
Yeah.
But so I tried it. I tried to do some remote viewing. I'm not good at clearing my mind enough, because you really do have to go in there with a blank slate and then and not think about where it's going. Just write down what you see and feel and the tastes and smells that you feel. But the amazing thing about remote viewing is they just use numbers. That's all you're given. It's completely blind. You're given two numbers, like 4 or 5 digits each.
Yep.
And that number's attached to something that whoever gave you the numbers knows what it is. So that's the connection. And then you're given an envelope with the 2 numbers and a picture of whatever it is or something. And these remote viewers who are currently doing it, which is at the Farsight Institute, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
They do something every month. How they get this stuff is just, it's just so crazy and beyond me, because they're predicting, their latest thing is called the Time Cross Project. They're predicting next month's news. And they're nailing it time and time again. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. If they get that right the month before, does that mean it's already happened and we're just waiting to experience it?
Right, like we're in a movie, you know, like she said, we just fast forward, you know, except most of us don't know how to fast forward because, you know, to fast forward, I got to get out of this chair, go get a drink in my house and come back. But it's going to happen, or it is happening somehow. Like, you know what I mean? It's just it's fascinating how all that stuff works.
It is weird.
Do you know if they released what they think the next month is going to be by chance? I haven't followed that one.
Well, they do it every month. So if you go to the YouTube channel Farsight Institute, they go month to month, and they'll give you your predictions for the next month's news, and then they'll tell you how the month before went, and they'll reveal, okay, here's what they said, and here's the top news items, and it's very kind of strict about which news outlets they're using, what are the top stories of that month, and then they say how close they were, and it's like 80% are really close. And it's really cool. And actually, Dick Allgaier was one of the main guys there for a while. I don't know if he's doing it anymore.
Yeah, well, he told me he had told me. I don't know if he said this on when I was recording or when I wasn't, but he said that he's like, yeah, that Courtney Brown uses me all the time, and he said, matter of fact, recently he had one for me, and I just wasn't getting it. He said I tried 6 times, and at that point, he's like, you know what, you're off the project for this one. Let's catch back up on the next one. Yeah,
and you never know. It could have been it could have been a blank subject. It's kind of like they once in a while they'll throw some random thing in just to make sure that there's no polluting the process. So it could have been an envelope with nothing in it, so that the remote viewer would go, I'm not getting anything. I don't know what it is, and then move on. You never know.
Who knows? So I just got psyched. I had a few people email me, Joe. I've actually done it a few times. I've been pretty successful, and blah blah blah. If you need a test party, put me in there. So I'm like, maybe I will, but I'll reach out to Dick and just ask, like, how do you want to do this? Because he, like he said, he's like, well, if you start giving me stuff for me, I kind of have a feeling we know what it's going to be about, and I'll mess it up. Yeah. He said, but if you go to Courtney Brown and let Courtney Brown do it, he sends me stuff all the time, so I won't know that you went to him to do this.
Exactly.
And I thought,
and also, it's like a muscle you have to train. So you gotta do it time and time again. There's a kind of a formula that you go through, but it's also like any other thing. Like psychics you have to work that muscle to keep it sharp, and the more you do it, the more in tune you are with it. It's just like anything, like a sport. The more you play baseball, the better you get.
Yeah.
And the more you do remote viewing, the better you're gonna get.
And the funny thing he said was, and I think I did ask him this maybe on, I think anyways, when it was recording, and I said, hey, is it safe to say that if someone's really psychic already, and then you teach them remote viewing, the techniques and stuff, is it safe to say that they're the bomb, like they are great? He goes, yeah, actually it is. He said the problem though, I'll tell you, is he's like, for example, I play the guitar. He says, let's say I just picked it up for the first time and I rip out a couple chords, and man, I could actually learn how to play pretty easy, and I think I got this down. Then some expert comes over and, oh, you're holding the guitar neck wrong and you're doing this wrong, and no, I don't. You got that ego now. And he said, believe it or not, a lot of times psychics have that ego just, because they've got this gift. So you're not going to tell me I'm the psychic, And he says it's a very structured way, but if they're willing to put the ego aside and just listen to me tell them or train them how to do this, and they follow through with it, they're usually unbelievable. So I thought to myself, and I was asking Pete, I was like, Pete, man, you think Michelle would be down to try something like that? She got time for this? I know she's busy. He goes, man, she probably would. So I thought, well, maybe when I talk to her Saturday, I'll just ask if she's interested. Who knows?
Or she might not even need it. She just might say, hey, spirit guide, what's in that envelope?
Right, pretty much. I mean, just like this thing, I was telling, I'm like, I was holding this fake Bitcoin. I'm like, nah, that'll be too difficult. She might, no, let me go to the cash over here.
You screwed that up because.
And then she got the spirit's like, no, we'll take the hard one. Bitcoin, you holding the Bitcoin in your hand? No, I'm actually holding money. Wait a minute. Actually, I was holding the Bitcoin in my hand, and that was my first target until I changed my mind. Because I thought it would be too hard.
That happens in remote viewing all the time, where people will just discard their first image because their brain took over and said, "Nah, it can't be this." And then when the image is revealed and what it was, they're like, "Well, that was kind of my first thought, but I thought it was too weird to go down that path."
Yep. And he says a lot, when he first closed his eyes, because if you saw him talking to me a couple times, you see him like really close his eyes. I think he's so used to that with remote viewing it, because he was telling me how it's just like you close your eyes and it's that quick, as soon as your eyes close, boop, what is it? If it's not there, that's it. Like you just got a quick second to do it.
Oh, yeah. Focus on it. And you can't, that's the thing about remote viewing, you can't think about it. You can't think about it. You just have to record what comes to you.
Yeah.
That's what I screwed up every time. I'm like, oh, well, then this is going to happen.
But I'll probably be like you, because my mind is always thinking and running, and just, I might be, but I'll be the guy that gives you the task. Everybody out there, I'll give you the task, but don't give me the task, because it might be epic fail.
True, and they're so specific on the task. You gotta narrow it down to something that there's only like one answer type of thing. So yeah, it's cool. I love the interviews, and I mean, keep it up with these on the psychic realm. Because
I'm hoping she comes back out. Maybe she wants to do this once a month, because I'm like, look, you're a psychic. You've got a job. That's what you pay your bills with. You take readings from for people. I got a lot of people in the woo woo too that probably going to line up to get some readings from you.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
let's, this will be, one hand washes the other kind of thing. You come over my show, maybe give out, or even if you don't have to come on, if you just happen to say, oh, Spirit just said something, hey, Joe, pick up the phone. You know something about this coin?
You hit record.
Yes, I do. Or no, I don't. I'll go look at it. I just got Spirit says this might be a good, okay, thank you. I'll just come out and do a quick video. Hey, I talked to Michelle. Guess what she said? That's all. If this that kind of stuff will work or anything really, she could even if she just got some message to tell us.
If this Theta coin works, that would be because that coin was not on anybody's radar that I had heard talk.
Me
And
too.
picking a single coin out of 2,000 coins that the 8 others were spot on. We knew about them. We studied them for the last 5 years. And then there's this Theta coin. I mean, if she gets that right, I'm like, holy moly, that that could be like we got the inside track on all the good cryptos.
Yeah, that would be freaking sweet. But at the same time, like she says, she's like, you can ask any medium, psychic, everybody, like, why aren't they rich? Why don't they just enrich themselves? And it's like it just doesn't work that way.
It's a
If that's their
slippery slope.
intention, she's like, if you might have seen it on her blog, if you start doing that, you can lose that
No,
ability.
exactly.
Spirit doesn't want that. That's not for you to do. It's for you
Yeah.
to help other people. But if those other people are the ones asking those questions, Spirit will still answer apparently. But it's not for you per se. So I'm like, you know me. I'm gonna throw her, guys. Let's throw her some donation Litecoin. I'm gonna give her some of those theta that I bought. I'm gonna give her some theta token. I'm like, just let's give it to her. What does she ever get given? You're just answering
Exactly.
questions all the time. But
Yeah,
does
she's
anyone
a
actually
giver,
give
not
you
yeah.
anything aside from it? Yeah, it's her day job. It's her day job. It's what she does. But
Yep.
talk about being stressful and that kind of stuff she probably has to deal with. But I'm like,
I
let's
think a lot of people. I think a lot of people in the crypto space. One of their life lessons that you learn in cryptos is that make a decision and then be patient. And this isn't of course, the Theta token got the JSNIP4 bounce like they all
Oh
do.
God,
As
yeah.
soon as you mention the coin, it's going to jump. But this is something that you were given a token that said a psychic said, "Hey, this is going to do extremely well." Then you get into it, you learn about it, you analyze it. Does it make sense to you? And then you make your purchase of it, and then you wait. And if you are correct in your analysis, I mean, it just does no good for someone to say, "Oh, go do this," and then you're rich and it's over.
Right.
You didn't learn a
Although a
lesson.
lot of people want to hear that Joe just shut up and tell us the coin.
Absolutely,
Okay, thanks, bye. It's like, come on,
absolutely.
let's really look at this. This is cryptos. Is it gonna be something that's really good? It actually looks like it. And I'm like, how the heck did I miss that one? Data. That's freaking crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was just typing a second ago. I was gonna ask her, was theta maybe to clarify? Can you ask Spirit? Is it possible that Spirit gave you thousands of percent higher as opposed to thousands of dollars higher? And maybe she can
Well,
do that.
yeah, and but to me, it's more like, hey, we found this really cool coin that was kind of under the radar, and since we kind of understand what's going on with the YouTube revolution, and a lot less people are reading books and they're getting books on tape and things like that, and going through the internet. I mean, that's what really brought me to Theta and saying, oh my God, I'm now giving away right here. This is what I get away with my subscriptions. 10 Theta coins on a paper wallet. That was quick, huh?
I saw your email.
Get your 10 Theta coins. That's what the private wrote. But the coolest thing I think is if you could somehow meld the psychic / remote viewing with all the changes that are going on, because the future is completely going to be completely different than the past.
Yeah.
That I am sure of, especially on the monetary side. So if you're trying to analyze tokens as if they're shares of stock, it's just not going to work because it's so much different. It's just these are the tokens as opposed to the cryptocurrencies are really a form of barter within this specific industry. So if Theta is the token that people use as barter within the the YouTube / multimedia online infrastructure, I can see how it can go to $1 trillion market cap.
And
Because
what is the inflation and or hyperinflation or whatever
well, yeah,
monetary
yeah,
system going to look like in say 2 to 3 years from now? Even though it's only 2 to 3 years, but again, I tell everybody, look, how long did it take us to get to our first $1 trillion in debt? Really, 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 really long time. 1980. Then
oh,
from
yeah.
1980 2000, we've got 20 years, and then we got to 3 point something, whatever it was, trillion. Then it's 6 trillion. Bush leaves. 9 trillion. 10 trillion. Obama leaves. now he left us with 20 trillion essentially. Now Trump just took office. Where's that
And
going to go?
he's trying to blow it. I mean, they're all trying to do the same thing: hyperinflate the system, suck up all the benefits, and then blow the system sideways. Trump's new tariffs on steel, was he put 25% tariffs on steel?
Yeah, it was
to
like
China?
a high number. Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, just raise your hand and say you want to blow up the economy, which he
Right.
does. And then they're going to hyperinflate it even more. So yes, always in the background, there's the determination that we're valuing the dollar in these tokens.
Yeah.
When at some point down the line, we're not going to be, the dollar's not going to be around, and we'll be valuing things maybe in Bitcoin or maybe in Theta token or maybe in any other crypto you want. But I love the barter type of analysis, because when people like historians talk about money, they say, well, we need money so that the home builder can trade with a bread baker type of thing, because barter is the best form of exchange in an economy, but it's not practical most of the time.
Yeah.
So with tokenization, a home builder can tokenize and a bread baker can tokenize, and they can swap tokens with other types of people. It's kind of like barter, which is really cool. And that's what in Michelle's blog, that's what she put. We're going to be in a barter situation.
And it might be crypto, like you said, different cryptos for different cryptos. I mean, my lady next door owns a cleaning company. She came over. We chatted with her the other day for the first time. Her kids are over here all the time, but she actually came over.
How come all the kids go to your house?
That's what I'm wondering now. Like, I move out kind of in a country setting out here. There's no one around, and then there's neighbors right next door. When we moved to Tennessee, population 300. Okay, right across the street there's a couple kids. So our kids lucked out, but she wanted to. She's gonna do every great once in a while she'll come over, whatever, do a cleaning for us. Like, we'll throw her a bone. Why not? What the hell? And so my wife's telling her about cryptos. Oh, I want to get on that. So like that same next day, boom, she's on Coinbase. She got her wallet set up. Joe, here's her Litecoin address. Pay her. She's coming in such and such date. Pay her, for whatever the price was, $225 or something to do the first cleaning. She wants it in crypto. I said, all right. I'm like, of course, make sure you did have the speech with her, right? That it's beautiful on the way up, but horrible on the way down. Sometimes you're in at the wrong spot. Just happens. She's like, well, yeah, I kind of told her that, but you probably need to give her more of a speech. I'm like, all right, I'll tell her. And if she's going to pay on her employees to do that too, let them know, everybody in this chain needs to know that right now, especially, these things are volatile. But yeah, just exciting stuff, man. Just interesting time to be around. But boy, I'll tell you, this whole YouTube purge thing, ooh, I've told people I'm not talking about that stuff anymore. You leave it alone, because I was like, well, if I do talk about it, and my channel gets nailed for some nonsense, what good am I now? What good am I to everybody? This stuff that just happened, this Dick Algar, this psychic lady, future whatever cryptos were, it's all gone. Won't be able to reach you guys. I've had a few people, Joe, go back. No, you got to talk about it. Not doing it. I got to focus on this stuff.
Don't do it. Although it itches in you to get it out.
It does. Like, you want to say something? Yeah.
But no, I'm not going to talk about it either. And if you want to talk about it, go to like Steam it and put up just get off YouTube, the mainstream. You can talk about anything you want offline.
Yeah.
But then you get a reputation. Just let it lie, and
there's so many people doing a much better job than you and I could do.
Yeah, and their heart and soul is that they dive into it and they do a great job. So if you're interested in that stuff, just do a search on YouTube. You can find anything these days.
Yep. So cool. You've got about ready to run, or you want to chat some more about something else?
I had one more thing I wanted to say. I wrote down some stuff. The other thing that Michelle, anybody who saw the interview with you, it's really cool, but go to the blog and read what she wrote in the blog. Because she also talked about something I've been talking about for a long time. At least that's how I interpret it. And that the good guys, she doesn't call them good guys, but I call them good guys. The decision has been made to use cryptocurrencies going forward. And I have seen that in a couple different places. I've seen it at the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. Their new comic, it's not the Boston one, I think it's the Federal Reserve Bank of Minnesota or something like that, came out with a new comic, and it's all about a high-tech future. It's called Once Upon a Dime. It's a remake, and no doubt in my mind that they're trying to tell us something. So I do think absolutely that the decision has been made at the Fed or above the Fed and above the U.S. Treasury that we're going to be going to a crypto world. The old banking system is going to be taken out. and then you can understand how the Theta token can go to $1,000 per coin, because if the old system really is failing, and in the 1988 Economist magazine is correct with the burning fiat, yeah, $1,000 Theta token makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially $1,000 buys you a loaf of bread type of thing. So we'll see. It's going to be a crazy year, and the clip high is 13,888. When that comes, I'll be jumping up and down saying, okay, so we went up too high in December, and then we came down too low. It took a couple of extra weeks. Big deal.
Right.
We're off and running.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on that report March 8th, or maybe you and I'll be lucky and get it a day early or something.
Yeah, we don't have enough time if we have to talk the next day.
I said, man, the second that he emails that report, whatever I'm doing, emergency stop, read that sucker, because I'm dying to know what's in there. But it's out. I mean, he already threw out one little thing on there. He's, little bonus. He's talking about that where it looks like it's going to go to 18, 19K, big sell off, up back down to 13,880. Then quickly. We go to the big numbers. Yeah, and it makes sense, because how many people got in at 18, 19,000, fear of missing out?
They'll get out for good. Yeah.
And now they're like, oh, it's finally got back to my number. This is too much for me. I'm gone. And then, all right, see you. Don't let the door hit you in the butt. Thanks for dipping it so we can get in.
They're back in 6 months. They're back in 6 months.
Yep.
And, I mean, you were 50, there in the 60. Early days. It's like, I remember when Bitcoin went up to $1,200 in the Mt. Gox crash. I sold everything. I told myself at that point, I'm never going to sell again. It was so stupid. They shook my confidence. Dude, I wouldn't even be on YouTube anymore trying to make money. I'd be out doing whatever I was. I probably would, because it's so fun. Who knows?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. All right. Well, I guess I'll be seeing you next Friday. And we're going to try to live stream this one, I think, even though it's what time was it? It was 10 y'all's time, so it's going to be about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So yeah,
1 o'clock East Coast time. Yeah.
Yeah, we still might live stream it, because again, after it's done, it goes live anyways. I mean, to everyone else, so in case they didn't catch it, they'll be able to see it later on anyways. So maybe we'll just live stream it anyways, like we always do.
I got to find my Three Amigos hat.
Yeah, I was like, man, I need to buy one of those. I need to get one so I can match Bix. My little cowboy thing, it does not look right. It is not me.
Your Crocodile Dundee hat?
Yeah, it just ain't working. I use that to mow the yard right now, but that's not good for the Three Amigos chat.
Yeah, I think we should switch up every time. Well, you guys don't need hats. I have to cover my hair. Yeah. I don't want to embarrass you guys.
Yeah, or you can get with little fake ones, like the little swimming hats. Those little
there you go.
Things, what those things are called.
A little bald wig.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, man. Yeah, it was fun.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, you too.